Okay, so we are here talking about comparing distributions. So I'm not going to read all this for you. This is a histogram. We have ages for Kenya. We have ages for the US. So taking a look at these two distributions, you should notice several things. First off, the US is much more evenly distributed. Does it still tail off? Sure, because the older somebody gets, we have very few people who are living to 100. We have a lot of people who are living till like 65, obviously. But in Kenya, look what happens. There's a very steep decline. So my question to you is, where are the majority of people located in Kenya? The majority age-wise of people are right here. This is where the majority are. Percent, because there's 11 or 12, 11, 11, something like that, all right here. This is the majority. This is 40 or 50% of the people. Even though, wait a minute, this is 17 and 15, so that's like 35%. So really, it's all from like here over, which means if I did a box and whisker, this portion down here would have a huge tail out to the right. Okay, so it has a high number. We have to go up to 90, but the majority, the 50%, the interquartile range would be somewhere over here. Okay, this is not evenly distributed. Okay, it is certainly not evenly distributed. It is what would be called skewed. This one, on the other hand, does it have some outliers? Sure, but not extreme outliers. Okay, because it gradually descends, but this is still about 25% because all of these are all within that 6 or 7% range. Even all of this can still accumulate for about your 25. Notice how it's a really even distribution. Okay, so now we get to some of those questions. Where's my little keypad here? Here we go. I got batteries. It works now. So how do the shapes of the two histograms differ? Well, one's evenly distributed, one is not. Approximately what percent of people are between 0 and 10 in Kenya? Well, let's see. Here's 0 and 10. 17, 15. So that's about 32%. Okay? That's all I'm doing there. Approximately what percent of people in the United States are between there? Well, now when we look at that a little bit differently, 0 and 10, they're both about 6.5%. So there's only like 13% of our kids. So 32 to 13%, man, Kenya's really stacked up with the younger kids. Okay, I'm not going to answer all of these, but now we're going to jump down. And this is the same thing. So now we have the same idea going on. Now we have our box and whisker. Notice how the median or the mean age of Kenyan people are like 18 or 19. The mean age of Americans are 39. That's a huge difference. We're spread out pretty evenly. Our tails aren't too far. Notice how this tail, there's like one person at 40, one person at 50, and then you have these couple outliers. We don't know how they live that long. But the majority of our Kenyans, 50% of our Kenyans are between something like 10 and 30 maybe. Okay, that's huge. You should be able to answer every single thing based off of those two histograms or the two box plots. Estimate the median age of a person in Kenya and the median age of a person in the United States using the box. Well, if we're looking for the median, we know it's somewhere exactly in the middle between here and here. So I'd say something like 20. So for Kenya, I'm going to say the median age is something like 20. The US, this is pretty smack dab, something like 40. Those are great median age, because that's the middle. So then you can start talking about what's 50%, what's 25%. And if you look at these questions, everything on this lesson is from either that histogram saying, hey, is it evenly distributed, or does it really take this like jump down, and does it look off? That's the thing about statistics that I really like. It takes some intuition to say, okay, does it look right? If it doesn't look right, let's try to figure out why. Is there some mathematics behind it that says, hey, no, this isn't right? So when we look at this, man, this person in Kenya, this one person at 100, good on them, but does that really fit in with the narrative of what we're trying to say? No. That's why we're putting it as an outlier, because it's not in our normal range. Okay, so if we go down to the lesson summary, a couple of things that we want to take a note of. Histograms show the general shape of a distribution. Remember, Kenya had a really wicked drop. We don't like that. That is skewed data. Box plots are created from the 5-number summary of a data set. The ranges, the low range, the upper range, the quartiles, and the mean. A box plot identifies the median, minimum, maximum, upper and low quartiles. And I keep saying mean, and I mean to say median. The interquartile range, IQR, describes how the data is spread over the median. So again, the median, and that's our 50%. And then the median is used as a measure of the center. So we're not talking about the mean when we're talking about box and whiskers. We're talking about the median. I might have to adjust the video on that. Okay, questions on this? Hopefully not. The next thing that we're doing is a mid-mod. You have a test coming up. Good luck.